Hello, welcome back to SAFC Fan TV in our Best 11 series. So if you've been tuning in, you'll have seen that we've currently got a goalkeeper, a right back and two centre-halves, which are Tommy Sorensen, John Keir, and a centre-half partnership of Gary Bennett and John Mensah. Today, we're going to be picking our left back. Been quite a few good left backs over the years, but let's see if we can decide on a good one to then complete our back four. Who wants to go first?
You go first, Wayne, actually, because you went first on this. Yeah.
It's been Leg Breakers FC so far.
Yeah, and one of them being on our team for Leg Breakers FC.
Well, this my choice is not really he's not a leg breaker, but he did play 363 games for us. Scored 16 goals.
George McCartney.
Callum McFadden.
Jay Wilkins played that much time for us.
He's from Sunderland. 1992 made his debut in 2004. I actually went to school with him. So he was 2 or 3 years above me at school.
You could have asked him to come on and nominate himself.
I could have come on, but for me, Michael Gray, absolute club legend. Sunderland through and through from Sunderland. So I couldn't really pick anybody else.
Yep, I agree 100%. And you can't bring him on the podcast because I'll turn into a complete fanboy.
Yeah, right. So I've lost already.
I just remember that, the down the left-hand side, him and AarUR and him and Alan Johnston, that's kind of thing, and he bombing forward, putting crosses in the box.
Kilban.
Well, Zinedine Kilban, I will not talk too much about him. But I think he actually scored on his debut from outside the box. Like a lobbing shot went right in the top corner. So
my earliest memories are like players like Steve Agnew and Gary Bennett and stuff like that. But my first memories of wow, this is amazing is Gray and AarUR. Just that all the time, and how seamlessly they could switch. They could either play on that side at the back or as a winger. They were just unreal. So, have you got something to throw into the mix there, Conrad? Because I'm 100% behind that one.
Yeah. So mine is makeshift Naira Nutner.
You might have played 3 or 4 games there.
Someone who did play out at left back at one point was Anton Ferdinand. I thought about throwing there for just for a laugh, but I won't do that. He played 2 games at left back for us, and I remember just thinking, should I just say it? I think for me, I'll probably pick Mickey Gray as well, but I am going to say someone different just for the interest of fairness, which is the next time we actually had a genuinely settled left back after Michael Gray, wasn't for several years later, might have even been 10 years afterwards, was Patrick van Aanholt, who we just had a player who was there for multiple years. He clearly cared and loved for the club until David Moyes came in and ruined everything. Because no one wanted him to go when he left for Crystal Palace, and I think only he wanted to go because of how Allardyce left, and he liked playing under Sam Allardyce and how he wasn't really getting a game under David Moyes, and Moyes brought in Oviedo. I think the goals that he contributed to us going forward, Patrick van Aanholt, the assists as well, he just gave us something that we'd been missing since Michael Gray down that left side, because we tried a number of years of McCartney, we'd had Danny Rose for a year, we'd had Marcus Alonso for 6 months. Danny Collins had played at left back a few times as well as left centre back.
I liked Rose.
Yeah, Danny Rose was good for us when he was, because he was sort of coming through at the time as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a good. Marcus Alonso was great for us, I think, as well. And he was another one of those that we let slip through the net, and then a year later went to Chelsea and won the Premier League,
and then went to Barcelona.
Yeah, exactly. It's so. I mean, I know he's not going to win over Michael Gray, and I concede to Michael Gray, but I think it's underrated how decent a player Patrick van Aanholt was for us when he came in, and the difference he gave us on an attacking forefront as well as his pace at the back.
Didn't
AarUR also played there?
I was going to say that was one of my honourable mentions was AarUR also played there as well. He would have been a very close second on my list.
See, I always think of AarUR as like a left midfield though when he played for us. because even when we were down in the Division 1 and the Championship, he was left midfield. When he came up, yes, he filled in at left back a few times, but every time there was a defender there, he would always move forward, and every time he would get him further forward on the pitch. I never felt comfortable at a left back with him, and even then when he went on to Middlesbrough, where they did use him more as a left back, I don't remember hearing about him nearly as much as what we would rave about him as a left midfielder. So for me, he wasn't ever a left back for us. He was a left midfielder. So
we can skip the left midfielder, sure, now, because
depends on how many goals Jack Clark scores in between now and then.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, was there any other honourable mentions we could have given to as a left back? I mean, Oviedo, or was it? I thought he was a decent left back, but he's just in a bad side at the time.
I don't know, because we brought in Oviedo, and I don't think he did anything in the 6 months that we had him in the Premier League. He was then injured and in and out of the team all the way through the Championship. And then he was sort of a bit part player in the League One season. And when you go into a playoff final or a Checker Trade final and you've got Oviedo, Chappell and Grant Ledbetter in your team and you're not winning any of these games, and these are experienced Premier League players, there's some sort of problem there. But, I mean, we knew Grant Ledbetter was his legs and his age. We knew Oviedo, I think he just never was really in it. I think he wasn't a Rodwell to be like, I'm not playing. He was like, I'll play. Like, that's fine, I'll play. But probably wasn't committed to it. Whereas Chappell was like, he was Sunderland through and through by the end, I think.
George McCartney's got to get a mention for me.
I never thought he was that good. That's just me. So
he won Player of the Season for the season we went up. So he was first consistent.
04-05.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what was his competition, please?
I was going to say who was his competition?
Who was second? Gary Breen. Like,
he earned his place in PFA's Team of the Year. So yeah, it's
league that year.
I honestly think McCartney at West Ham was better than either McCartney at Sunderland.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and there shouldn't be a difference, but there was. Remember that screamer he scored for West Ham?
Yeah.
I don't think he ever had a shot for us.
You're not looking for a goal. Were you looking for a goal scorer in a left back?
Mate, I knew Patrick Van Aanholt. Of course, I'm looking for a goal.
He scored left back.
He scored a goal in the derby. Of course, we did. What were we saying? Who are we talking about there? I've forgotten. McCartney. I think in his second spell, especially, I always just thought he doesn't look interested, and I don't know if that was just him. But he just always had that look on him that he didn't look bothered.
I think would have been better having Paul McCartney at left back.
No, I thought he was a consistent performer for me throughout that season, that promotion season. So
again, I don't think he had much competition.
No.
And if you think about it, we were the best of the best that season to go up, and look what happened to us the following season. We got smashed for 15 points.
Yeah, well, he didn't take part. And he wasn't in that next season.
We weren't a good side when we went up. A bit like this current lot that have gone up to the Premier League. They're not a good lot of teams. They were just better than the rest of them. And even then, I still don't think Luton were better than us. It's just we were on a shoestring by the end.
Yeah. It's a difficult one when you've got a position like this and you can all fundamentally agree on the best left back. It's hard to see anybody else in that light, you know. I was going to say we've had more debate here. Yet we all agreed on the same player. We're arguing over who's second.
I think it's just to fill a bit of time in, that's all.
Yeah. Who else played there?
Another one I want to mention of years ago, it was in the same kind of era as no, he'd have been before, was Paul Hardiman. I don't know if you remember him, but he was a solid left back. And when we played the Mags in the 1990 playoffs, he missed a penalty, but then booted. Was it Steve Burridge, their goalkeeper, booted him in the head? So that was one I remember him off. So
who was that one? The season after the 15 points, where the Quinn spent ages going after this lad at left back from Birmingham called Clark or something like that. I can't remember his first name. And he played like 2 games. His first game, he gave away a penalty and conceded 3. And then his next game, I think he got sent off. And then we got Rob Elliott from Newcastle, who played a couple of games and broke Rory Delap's leg at Stoke.
Yes.
And then I think Keane went straight back to Danny Collins, left back. We're doing that.
Was that not one we had from Everton? That Jake Clark-Salter, he was absolutely horrendous.
Oh no, that you're thinking of Galloway, but
Galloway,
I do know who. Yeah, there was a Clark-Salter in there as well, and there was, that Galloway was.
Brendan, I think he plays for Plymouth. He came on a sub against us a few weeks ago, so he's done all right. But anyway, there's our back four complete.
That was an interesting debate. So he's called John Gray now to go along with all the rest of our
John Gray,
centre
so we've got John Sorensen, John Keir, John Bennett, John Mensah, and John Gray.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Next time we'll be picking are we going to go centre mid partnership, or we're going to go from left to right?
It depends what formation we're playing, really, doesn't it? Because I would have thought Mike Bassett classic 4-4-2, because we know really what strikers we're going for.
Yeah,
which is Dicchio and
Lislond.
Yeah.
Let's bear in mind some of the old players like John Kay and Bennett might not know what they're doing if it's not 4-4-2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we have to go 4-4-2 because we can still say about the centre mids that you've got a defensive one and you've got an attacking midfield one, haven't you? And then your wingers can still play as like the Mo Salah wingers now, or they can still play as the classic, David Beckham wingers.
Could we do central as a pair and wingers as a pair?
Yeah, we'll do the next one. We'll do centre mid, and the one after we'll do wingers.
Sounds good.
It's taking shape, right? So until the next one, I do thank you for watching. Obviously, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. It'd be greatly appreciated. Yes, Mike.
Don't forget to let us know what your players' picks were in the comments.
Yes, we want your best 11 as well. So get involved and get yours in the comments, and we'll read them out when we get a full team. But until the next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.